Does Alter go mute?
Not at all. You don't need to be muted. I'll only ask you to mute if there's feedback. Okay, so today what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about bidding, the declaring in no trump. In no trump contract play, what must you do the very first thing before you do anything else? Count your
Points.
know your
Winners.
winners. Okay.
Okay.
And you have to do that at the start of the hand. Great play of the heart of the hand starts with making a plan at trick 1. Now, how many times have we, the lead has been made, dummy goes down, we play a card from dummy, and then we start to think. We make a plan before we play a card from the dummy, and you do it at what trick?
Trick 1.
Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
For no trump contracts, counting winners is a good way to help you decide on the best line of play. The line of play which will give you a chance to fulfill your contract, because that's what you're trying to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
What is a winner? What's a winner, everybody?
In no trump is the highest card.
Well, tell me, what is a winner?
Aces are winners.
Aces are winners. And if you've got the aces, what else are winners?
The kings are winners.
The kings are winners, aren't they? So if you've got the ace of a suit, how many winners have you got?
4.
1.
No, the ace. How many
One.
winners have you got? 1.
4.
1. You don't have 4 winners. An ace is
Oh, I
worth
thought you
4
meant 4
points.
aces.
No, I didn't. You've 4. No. If you've got 1 ace in a suit, how many winners have you got?
1.
1. I like your enthusiasm and you're continuing on with it. But now I know what you meant. Yeah. If you've 4 aces, you have 4 winners. Absolutely correct. If you've got 4 aces and 4 kings, how many winners have you?
8.
Well,
2.
let's say, yeah, you've 8. Yeah. You have the ace of each suit and the king of each suit. That's 8 winners, isn't it? Yeah. Now, if you had to make 9 winners, well, you're going to have to try to create something, aren't you?
Yeah.
Because you've only counted 8 winners. Do you see why counting winners is important? Okay, so let's have a look at this for a second. A winner is a trick, any trick with which you can take right away. So a winner is a trick with which the opponents can't stop you from taking. Okay, now have a look at this. Let's look at an example hand. Now, again, all the contracts tonight are no trump. Okay. It doesn't matter whom is the declarer, because we own both of the hands, don't we? Yeah. So we'll imagine that West is the declarer. Okay. Now, what we have to do is we have to count the guaranteed winners that we can see. So how many winners have we got in spades?
2.
2. How many winners have we got in hearts?
1.
1. How many winners have we got in clubs?
None.
None. And how many winners have we got in diamonds?
5.
4.
No.
4.
No. 4
Right.
only. Now,
4.
why? I'll tell you why. You can't have any more winners than the length of the suit in no trump.
Okay.
Even though you've got ace, king, queen, jack, 10, at some point, you're going to have to play a good card on a good card, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you play the ace, you're going to have to play the 7. Then when you play the queen, you're going to have to play the 10, aren't you?
Yeah.
So you can't, in no trump, you can't have more winners than the length of the suit. Does that make sense,
Yeah, it does.
everybody? Okay.
Yes.
And how many winners, so therefore, do we have in diamonds?
4.
4. So we've got 2 winners in spades, 1 winner in hearts, that's 3. And we've got 4 winners in diamonds. How many does that give us?
7.
7. Well, if we have to make 9 tricks, how many are we short?
2.
Yeah. And we're going to have to work out where we're going to get them from. Otherwise, what's going to happen?
We're going to go down.
We're going to fail. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, now let's just continue on. In spades, we have the ace and the king, but no queen. Therefore, we've 2 spade winners. In hearts, we have the ace, but no king, so only 1 winner. In diamonds, we have the ace, king, queen, jack, 10 between the 2 hands, but only 4 cards in the long hand, so we can only have 4 winners. Even though we've got 5 of them, I can't have any more than the longest suit between the 2 hands. And we have no winners in clubs because we don't have the ace or the king. Okay. In clubs, we have no winners because we don't have the ace. Making a plan at trick 1. Knowing how many winners we have will help us making a plan for the hand. If you don't have enough winners, or you want to make more, you want to be greedy. If you make more tricks than your contract, that's called over tricks. If you make less tricks in your contract, what's that called?
Under trick.
Under tricks, yeah. I mean, I lead you down the path, don't I?
It's feeling.
I'm not trying to trick anybody. So there are 2 ways with which to develop extra tricks. Finessing to trap the opponent's honors. We'll talk about that in a second. Developing long suit winners, which may require letting the defenders win tricks early. Isn't that often what we're afraid to do? Let the opponents win, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so deciding on the best suits with which to develop. What do you think you decide on the best suits with which to develop? Okay, so after we've looked at the suits in which we have winners, we have to then decide what suits with which to develop. In most cases, this will be your longest fit, but not always. Calculate how many tricks you can develop in a suit versus how many you have to give to the opponents. How many times do you have to give up the lead versus how many tricks with which you can develop? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. The suit that gives the most additional tricks are often the ones to develop. Deciding on the best suits develop. Consider this hand. Okay. How many top winners do we have between the 2 hands?
You've 7, haven't we?
No, you don't.
It's a different hand, isn't it?
It's a different hand.
3.
Oh, this is a different hand. Oh, I beg your
Yeah.
pardon.
You've only 3 top winners.
You've only 3 top winners, don't you?
Yeah.
3.
You've 2 in,
Spades.
2 in
Spades.
spades
And
and
1
1
in
in hearts.
so you've
On
got to
hearts.
establish 6 more winners. Okay, so where are you going to establish 6 more winners?
Clubs.
Club.
Well, the clubs
Clubs
is
and
the
diamonds.
first suit.
Clubs and
Is
diamonds.
the clubs is the first suit, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Now, how many winners can we establish in clubs?
We can establish 3.
4.
3 or 4.
4. No, 4.
4. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
By force, we can establish 4. No matter what the opponents have in their hand, we can establish 4. Because we've king, queen, jack, 10, 9, and we're missing the ace.
Ace.
Well, that's the one we'll give them, and every other one will be a winner, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now that's 3 and 4 is...
7.
7.
Oh, Jesus, we're still not there, are we? We're still short. So where are we going to get the other 2 we're short?
Diamonds.
Because what do we have between us in diamonds?
We
9,
have
10, jack,
Queen,
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 queen.
jack.
3 winners. If
3
you
winners.
take
3,
the ace.
but again, we have to drive out the...
The
The ace.
Okay, so there's work to be done on this hand, isn't there?
mm-hmm.
Okay, so have a look at it. In this hand, you've only 3 winners, 2 spades and 1 heart. Which is the best suit to develop to get more tricks? The best choice is clubs, because after you give up the ace, which is only giving up 1 winner, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You receive 4 tricks, don't you? Giving up diamonds, you give up 1 winner and you receive how many tricks?
3.
We always go after the suit with which will produce the most winners and give up the least amount of times. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is the next best suit, you told me. Even though you have only 5 cards in the suit, it's diamonds. It isn't about the number of cards in the suit. It's about the number of tricks with which you can make winners, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we recognize that the less cards in diamonds doesn't mean we make less tricks because of the quality of the suit. We have more spades between us and more hearts between the 2 hands, but we have less tricks to be able to develop. So even though it's only 5 cards in the suit, it's diamonds. Once you give up the ace, you get 3 more tricks. By contrast, the best you can likely do in your 7-card spade suit is to lose 1 trick, maybe to the spade or the jack, queen or jack, and then make the other one a winner. Well, losing 1 to give 1 isn't a great return, is it? Losing 1 to make 4, losing 1 to make 3, that's a good return, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, giving the opponents the lead to develop your suits. Let me tell you, this is what most early beginner bridge players refuse to do. Lose
Yes.
the lead. Okay. Giving the opponents the lead to develop your suits is okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
maybe.
If you have to, if you
Provided you have stops.
if you haven't got enough tricks, I don't care whether you've stops. If you don't have enough tricks to make your contract, what do you have to try to do? Develop
your suit. Develop your suit.
your suits. Don't be afraid to give the opponents their tricks in your long suit if you can set up tricks for yourself. Don't be afraid to do it. Is that clear? No
Yes.
trump is often a race to develop our suits before the opponents can develop theirs. Yeah? Are we all happy?
Yeah.
Cash winners in your short suits last. So your short suits means your opponents are what?
Long suits.
They have lengths.
And if you cash your winners in your short suit, what do you make for your opponents?
Winners.
Winners.
So these are what you do or don't do. You don't cash your winners in your short suits early. You do it last, after you have developed your suits. As tempting as it is to cash top tricks, do not do this in the suits that belong to the opponents until you have set up all of your tricks first. In no trump, always go to work on the suit that needs work first while you still have defense in the other suits. That's called getting busy. Yeah? In no trump, you have to be busy in developing your suit before the opponents develop their suits. That's not normally what we do. Normally what we do is cash all of our winners in panic, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then lose the lead and wonder why we don't make any more tricks. Yeah?
Yeah.
Don't think I don't know. I know exactly. Okay, let's have a look at this one more. Is this all right, lads? Yeah, are we happy?
Yeah,
Are we
Perfect, yeah.
are we getting some value in what we're doing? I rarely do this, you know that. So, and recording it means you will be able to go back over at your leisure. Okay, now remember, even though I might speak very fast on the lesson, or we might go through the material quite quickly, you can pause and rewind on the YouTube, all right?
Yeah.
Now, have a look at this. What do we think the contract is, first of all?
No trump.
No trump. And how many do you think we're going to have to make?
Just 6.
Between no trump, 9.
3 no trump. 9 is correct. Very well done. Because if you add the number of points they have between them, they've got 16 points opposite 13, don't they? That's 29 points, isn't it? So if they're 29 points, they've more than enough to make 3 no trump. Now, do they have a fit in any suit?
No.
No.
No. Well, then they'd
No.
obviously want to be playing in 3 no trump if they don't have a fit, wouldn't they?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, all happy with that so far?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're not even going to worry about the opening lead for the minute. Now, the opening lead, of course, has to be taken into account, but that's not what we're trying to get you to think. I'm just trying to get you to think, and we're laying it out this way because when you're a declarer, you see your two hands, don't you? And
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter which hand is the dummy or which has it in this declarer because you own both of them. They're your assets, yeah? Okay, what are our top guaranteed winners total between the two hands?
1, 2,
7.
7.
7 is correct.
It's
Yeah.
7.
7 is correct. 2 in spades, 1 in hearts, 1 in clubs, and 3 in
3.
diamonds.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we've 7, how many are we short?
2.
Sure,
2.
2. So where are we going to get them from?
Hearts.
Say
Hearts.
hearts.
Hearts
Yeah.
is correct.
Yeah.
Hearts is absolutely spot on. Now, let's say they lead a spade. What are we going to do? Are we going to win it or
Ace.
not win it? That's the first choice.
Winner.
Winner.
Okay, so we win
Yeah,
with
right.
the ace. And what are
Yeah.
we going to do next?
Start working in hearts. Is it?
Very
heart.
good.
Yeah.
Very good. So we're going to win with the ace of spades and we're going to play the
Ace.
4 of hearts. Now, if
Yeah.
the person here plays the king of hearts, what will we do?
Take.
Take it.
We'll take the ace and then sure we get the queen
Mhm,
and
get the rest of
the
them.
jack
Yeah.
and the 10. We might not get the 6.
Mhm.
The 6 might not grow up depending on how many hearts the opponents have. But we'll certainly get the queen, the jack, and the 10. Now let's say the hand here, south, doesn't play the king of
Okay.
hearts. Let's say they play a small heart. What do we play?
10.
The jack or the
The
queen?
10.
The
No, we
10.
play the 10. The 10 is
10.
the same as the jack and the queen.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
all
okay, yeah.
equal.
Yeah.
And if south has the king of hearts, the 10 will win, won't it?
Mhm.
And then we can come back to our hand in another suit and we can lead the 8 of hearts. And if they play the king of hearts, what can we do?
Take it with the ace.
And if they play a small heart, what can we play?
The jack.
Jack.
And then if we play the ace of hearts and they play the king of hearts, what happens to the queen?
Goes up.
Becomes a winner.
And the 6.
Becomes
Goes
a
up.
winner.
Okay, and that's called a finesse, Finesse. You can type it into Google and there's on Wikipedia. There's a whole spread, different types of finesse. That's called a simple finesse for the king. You are hoping that South has the king of hearts. And if South has the king of hearts, they might not be entitled to get it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And you've created extra winners, haven't you?
Yeah.
Where else could you potentially create an extra winner?
In clubs.
Clubs.
Very good. If South has the king of clubs and
Yeah.
you play the 3 of clubs,
Clubs.
if they play small, you play the,
The
Queen.
queen.
and then if that wins, you have the ace as a winner as well.
Yeah.
Again, that's an example of a finesse. Best suit to develop is hearts. Make sure to finesse for the heart king as you develop this suit. If the finesse works, you might get 4 more tricks. Otherwise, you might get 3 more tricks. But that still brings your 7 and 3 up to, that's an over trick, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yes.
And if the and if you make another, if you make 5 heart tricks, it brings your extra tricks up to.
11.
And if the queen of clubs wins, it brings your extra trick up to.
12.
Well,
Lucky.
yeah, but then your finesses are working for you, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay. Now have a look at this hand for a second, and then we'll just be about finished to log on to BBO and get you to play some hands where the hands are designed for you to think about what I've asked you to think about. How many winners can you see? What are you short? Where are you going to get them? How are you going to get them? All right. So again, what do we think the contract is on this board?
2, 4, 6, 9, 10, 13 offset.
Trump.
Very
Trump.
good. Very good. Spot on. Yeah. So 3-0 Trump is the contract. Now, how many guaranteed winners can we see?
1, 2,
2 in
Three,
spades, 2 in
Seven.
hearts,
2 and 3 is 5,
3 in diamonds.
and 2 is 7.
7 is correct. Very well done. Okay. And how many are we short?
2.
Where are we going to get them?
Clubs.
Very good.
Clubs, yeah.
So no matter what they lead, what are we going to lead as soon as we win the lead?
Club.
A club.
And then when we get in again, what are we going to do?
Lead a club again.
Again.
We're going to drive out the ace of clubs
Clubs. And the king
and
of clubs.
then the king of clubs, making our queen and our jack.
Winners.
Winners.
But even though they're not, the clubs aren't our longest suit between us, are they?
No.
No.
The hearts are longer,
Hearts.
aren't they? The spades are longer. But the trick which is going to produce the tricks we're short is not actually the longest suit, is it? It's the suit, it's the club suit. And that's why counting your guaranteed winners, your tricks with which the opponents cannot stop you from taking, it gives you more focus on what suits you can focus to fulfill the shortfall. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we all happy with
queens.
that? Are we all happy with that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now 7 hearts. Even though you only have 6 clubs, this is the best suit to develop because you are guaranteed 2 tricks once the opponents get their ace and king. Okay. Now this is the last hand that we'll talk about. Okay. Again, what do we think the contract is?
3 no trump.
3 no trump.
Yeah.
3 no trump. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Now, how many guaranteed winners do we have?
Not a lot.
1,
2.
2,
3.
3,
Oh,
3.
Oh no, you've got
1.
got 3 in club.
4.
5.
5.
I think you could even count six tricks, couldn't you? Surely you're going to get 5 club tricks, aren't you?
Yeah.
I mean, when you play the ace, followed by the king, followed by the queen, it's going to be very unlucky that you're not going to make the extra club a winner, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like one in every 50 hands or something, a 5-0 break occurs. Like, so you're going to get 5 club tricks and the ace of hearts, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's 6 winners. How many are we short?
3.
3.
What suit are we going to play?
Spades.
What about diamonds?
I would say diamonds.
Well, if you think about it, how many diamonds do we have to give up
2.
to get?
3.
3.
And how many spades do we have to give up
1.
1.
to get?
3.
What
3.
should we be doing?
Spades.
Spades. It's easier to make 3 winners in spades than it is in diamonds, isn't it?
Mhm.
That's why working out, remember what we said right at the start of the presentation. How many times do you have to give up the lead to get the number of tricks? Now, looking at the long suit is what we look for because that's the most likely situation. But all of these subsequent examples are sort of to try to get you to think a little bit differently, aren't they? How many winners are we losing in spades? 1 to get 3. How many winners have we to lose in diamonds? 2 to get 3. Even though the diamonds are the longest and better than spades, it's better to play spades because we're giving up the lead less to make our winners. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. On this hand, both spades and diamonds look promising. You all spotted that. With spades, you must lose the ace to win 3. With diamonds, you must lose the ace and the king to win 3. Because spades requires you to give up fewer tricks to your opponents for the same reward of 3 tricks, it is the best suit with which to develop. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Now, that's it. Let me just stop this for 1 second.